Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201, and we have a great show for you today. Two topics. The stock market, obviously, Tariff Monday, and all the chaos that happened today, which was fun to live tweet through while I was filming a movie because I am very busy the next 42 days. But also, we're going to go into Democrats and the male problem. Got some interesting things. I was listening to the For You page podcast hosted by one of the Parkland kids and Tim Miller. What a weird combo. It's kind of like BFF pod with Dave Portnoy, but I guess more educational, but not as pop culturally. Anyway, to go straight into the Tariff Monday. But first, I want to reiterate my top 10 my top 10 celebrity crushes, right? I wrote them down because I didn't like just thinking. So I have my 10. Okay. Number 1. Ella Purnell. Number 2, Victoria Justice. Number 3, Monica Barbaro. Number 4, Kay Adams. Number 5, Emily Badir. 6, Paige Desborough. 7, Sarah Catherine Hook. 8, Casey David. 9, Lucy Hale. And 10, Daisy Edgar Jones. Okay? Those are my celebrity crushes. There you go. Now to go into Trump Tariff Monday, Black Monday, the fact that the most chaotic thing that happened today was that there is some truth to some of the more ultra right-wingy people on the over-evaluation of the stock market because of what happened with a man named Walter Bloomberg. And there's a tweet that emphasizes the craziness of what happened today over a course of 42 minutes. Okay? A tweet goes viral that says, "Tariffs are paused, says Bloomberg." Someone says, "Bloomberg, the news service?" No. Some guy named Walter Bloomberg. What is his source? Reuters. Oh, like the news service? No. His friend, Johnny Reuters. And then for 50 minutes, the stock market went up 4,200 points, assuming Trump was going to pause all the tariffs for 90 days, which is insane. That $4 trillion and then $6 trillion, $4 trillion was added to the evaluation of the economy or the stock market, whatever. And then $6 trillion was lost. Also, Bitcoin rose and slid in the same rate. So the crypto people are mad. Portnoy is mad. The amount of normalies, like center-right people who are angry at this entire situation right now, because, I get it. Listen, I get most people under 40 don't have a 401k because everyone has like a shitty job now or is a gig economy or whatever bullshit. Listen, I have pensions, okay? Actually, I think I have a 401k also. I really need to check my finances and not just accept, my television writing and all the other bullshit. But look, there is an interesting thing. So MAGA baddie, Brianna Lindman, hot white girl, though I hope she really isn't taking that much Botox at that young age. She's younger than me. She's like 26, 27, super hot white girl. You can see there's a theme. I really, value the opinion of hot white women with great eyebrows, though. She made a tweet that was actually a solid point, okay? That the stock market crashing kind of proves that it's not structural. The crashing's not structural in nature. Similar, whereas the COVID crash in March of 2020 was a real structural issue and why the economy was failing. But also kind of showed that everything you learn in school is a lie. The fact that a tweet from a random troll account added $4 trillion to the stock market proves everything that you learned in college is a lie. Scott Galloway's brain has to be frying right now because everything Scott Galloway ever said in an NYU economic class is a lie because random fucking Twitter accounts control the economy, which also proves something. Sorry, Blue Sky Libs and Thread dorks. You're not controlling the economy, causing moving betting markets or anything like Twitter is. You can be all mad. The guy who owns it is an alleged Nazi. And it's all very right-wing, but we proved something. Twitter added and destroyed the stock market in a period of 52 minutes. Okay, by the way, is Brianna Lindman single? Pretty hot. Anyway, listen, I'm a fuckboy. I will be, draw it. And then what is interesting, these were tweets from 2021 were popping up right after Joe Biden took off. Hospice Joe took office. Was that the stock market isn't the economy. And now there's prominent Democrats who are saying the stock market is the economy. And look, the stock market is the macro economy. And it sucks. If the stock market crashes, everyone loses their job. That's just the way it is. I know it sucks. Look, Americans don't make anything, and even the idea of bringing all these manufacturing jobs back to America, it's just going to be done by robots, okay? We have to accept this fact. I don't know what the Trump tariff idea is, because there are countries saying we'll remove all our tariffs, and Trump is like, no, not enough, okay? Think of the penguins, okay? There are penguins that are being tariffed right now, and the McDonald's Island, where Governor Hamburglar is, okay? Where they got the Big Mac sauce. Chaos, okay? Also, now there's like a 105% tariff allegedly on China in 2 days. And because of all the tariffs, the TikTok deal that apparently was going to be approved by China fell through. And I really hope the idea is that the tariffs are lifted in exchange for TikTok for free. That is the stupidest deal. That is Zion in White Lotus. That is not his art of the deal at all. No me gusta. Like, look, the market was blood red today. And then just the insane that a rumor used out of context fucking Fox and Friends interview turned the market to a historic high. Trump has to tweet fake news on CNBC, no pause, and then it crashes further than it was originally going to crash. You're right. Listen, there's no realistic things with the stock market at all. It is all funny money. And I don't know what we're supposed to do here. Honestly, look, the BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink, says we are probably in a recession right now. I don't know. Fundamentally, people have been thinking we've been in a recession for the last 3 years. It's very confused. Charlie Kirk is tweeting the nonsense. I don't know who's really for this, because the finance bros who voted for Trump are out on this. Fox and Friends people are like, my 401k is in the shitter right now. And it's weird. We're back. The stock market is at exactly where it was 1 year ago, okay? We're not at where the stock market was when Joe Biden took office, but by the way, which was historic highs. Like, the stock market has been going on a historic high since Trump took office the first time, just so people understand it. So, listen, if people want to say the entire 4-year period of the Hospice Joe presidency is not real and it's all artificially inflated, listen, whatever. Listen, I eventually had to come down, but I don't think people expected to hit it to 35K or 30, whatever the fuck is going to happen. It is nonsense, okay? It is nonsense. Also, it seems to be an alleged, which I don't know what's real or not, but the alleged rumor that because of the tariffs, China just may say TikTok is not allowed in America, and it will be banned like that within 2 days in America, because we already saw they can shut it off just like that. And by the way, TikTok is already banned in a lot of countries, just so people can understand this. Okay? That is Tariff Watch or Black Monday Watch. Okay? Everyone, follow Unusual Whales on Twitter and, cry yourself to sleep if you have stocks, because stocks go down. And you know what? Liberation Day from all our wallets. Now, I want to get into the more important part of the podcast. Okay, and it's the Democratic Party's problem with men. So, because I've done this podcast twice before, and we keep seeing, and since then, we've had Gavin Newsom and his cringy pod. This is Gavin Newsom, more like this is ad reads. By the way, if you listen to Gavin Newsom's pod, start at minute 5, because there's always 4 minutes of fucking shitty ad reads of ZipRecruiter and probiotics and all the shitty ads, products, and nobody uses at all, but for some reason have unlimited money to flood everybody's podcast advertisement. Sorry, not sorry. But look, so the Gavin Newsom pod and the Bulwark, as I mentioned earlier, FYP pod with the Parkland kid. I want to preface, I don't really care about the Parkland kids at all. I hate David Hogg. I am mad that he's the VC chair of the DNC. I don't care about them. I fundamentally don't like how the media made them like they're some historic like band. Because honestly, everything I remember from the Parkland kids, right? I remember there's a white chick with glasses. There's a shaved head girl. There was David Hogg. There's the kid that hosts the podcast with Tim Miller. And maybe there's others. I'm assuming there had to be like a Trump Parkland kid. There's no way like all the Parkland kids were fucking Democrats. But I understood the marketing reason why. Like this is America. I hate me for saying this, but we have a mass shooting out of school at least once a month. Okay, that's just fact about it. I never understood what made the Parkland kids special. Was it because they were like mostly upper middle class white kids, and you could see them on a CW show? Like, I never understood why these specific mass shooting school victims were given like this hype. And I listened to the pod, and Cameron mentioned like something to do with the right wing ecosystem or something. And he was like, he liked the honesty of one of them that said, look, that nobody will care about the Parkland kids once you aren't politically worth it anymore. And it is true, right? The Parkland kids don't mean shit at all anymore, right? Then last week they had some annoying like white kid named Jack Coachella, and that thinks Tampon Tim is the definition of masculinity, and doesn't realize, no, that lame old fucking white fuck is not the definition of any masculinity. And this is the problem within the Democratic Party, is that the losers they keep pitching that men should look up to are not who people want to be. I'm sorry, but people want to be, Democrats, you have to allow men to be a little bit misogynistic, okay? You have to let them be basically, think of all the good shows that used to be, okay? Barney Stinson, House, Danny and Veep, just a little bit misogynistic, okay? People want someone that like fucks around, that's honest about being a fuckboy and things. Not this loser shit that Tampon Tim and Kamala Harris's husband and fucking David Hogg and all these losers. That's not the definition of masculinity anyone wants. I'm sorry, like, look, it's not. And I'm not saying I'm the definition of fucking masculinity. I get it. I come off like flamboyant as shit. I understand that, but I'm also a television writer, okay? And I'm on TV. Very different situation where I'm very, like, crazy and eccentric. But whatever. But I'm just saying that there is a set of men that you're about to lose in president. I like excluding the Trump thing, but look, if you lose the Stephen A, the Bill Maher, think about like Ryan Gosling's character in Crazy Stupid Love, right? Tom Cruise. That is like what the average, I think, is the acceptable view of what masculinity is. Just a little bit of toxicity, a little bit of misogynistic. Let's add Andrew Cuomo there. And I know people are going to be like, Andrew Cuomo, listen, the Me Too era was bullshit. We all know this. Some things had to change, yes, but bad dates were not Me Too, blah, blah, blah. And now look what happened. Because of this whole, for 4 years saying men ain't shit, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. Well, you get Donald Trump now defeating 2 women, and now the Democratic Party realizing, yeah, a woman should never be the nominee again. Or at least probably not a woman who is not white, because that's a double whammy. Okay? Being a woman is already a whammy, but getting woman and diverse candidate, double whammy. God forbid it's like diverse, woman, and gay. That's just like, let's be realistic. America's not electing a gay guy. Sorry, Pete. America's not going to... The first woman president is going to be a hot Republican woman, not a Democrat. Let's be realistic about this. There was nothing wrong with Bernie saying that in 2020 also, that a woman can't be Trump. Just accept it. And it's weird because like the Democrats keep saying, America's such a racist and misogynistic place, blah, blah, blah. But think like, oh, let's put a woman to see if we can change that. Just to like lose again. We're like, this is the most retarded bullshit ever. And today on the stock market was very ultra retarded, by the way. By the way, if you're cringing about hearing the word retarded, you are the fucking problem on this. But to be back to this, right? If you lose like the Stephen A's, the Bill Mahers, right, from wanting to vote Democrat, which I would say where I am, because I really fundamentally, I do plan on running for president in 4 years, or whenever the fuck we're allowed to do this, right? I know their rules change if you actually file, like, with shit, and I don't want to file, but sure, I'm running for president, whatever. And I'm an asshole, sure. I'm misogynistic. You can read the New York Post how I fucked almost every, like, white woman in Manhattan, and I'm an asshole, and blah, 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 blah. I don't care. But, listen, the fact that you guys are like, yeah, Tim Walz is who we want to be. No, Tim Walz is a fucking bitch, okay, Zoomers? Shut the fuck up. Okay? I don't know. That Jack Coachella guy, cringe as fuck. No, nobody wants to be Tampon Tim. And the way the fucking Tampon Tim Gavin Newsom podcast made me want to fucking punch the shit and beat the shit out of fucking Tampon Tim. He's like, What? They're bad guys. They're bad guys. I'm drinking a milkshake. Why does Fox News make fun of me for drinking a milkshake? You know, like blah, blah, blah. Is it the masculinity? Yes, but we shouldn't talk to those people like a little fucking bitch. Okay? Like, also, the man looks like fucking just as old as Hospice Joe. What part of this that do not people realize this in America? Nobody wants to vote for someone that looks like they're about to fucking die. Okay? This is why if in 2028, if a normal young Democrat does not try to run against Chuck Schumer, that is not AOC, AOC will win. Like AOC, I would vote for AOC over Chuck Schumer, but if it's AOC versus normal young Democrat like a Pat Ryan, I would choose Pat Ryan. Okay? Just because I fucking hate old people. Okay? Old people, if you're over 70, you should not be running for re-election. Fuck you for being old. Okay? No one fucking cares what you have to say. Okay? Just go to Florida, fucking write racist shit on Facebook, complain that your kids don't want to call you because you're an annoying fuck, whatever. Okay? But look, you Democrats, if you don't allow men to be just a tad misogynistic, okay, like the Barney Stinson level, or the Ryan Gosling level in Crazy Stupid Love, you know what happens is that then they just go full off the rails and they become Andrew Tate or the Saratoga water guy. Do you not see the fucking problem with that? You have to allow a little toxicity because you should not be taking fucking advice from fucking Taylor Lorenz or fucking David Hogg or John Lovett, these fucking losers that get elevated in the Democratic Party that no one wants to be. Fucking John Lovett wears a fucking skirt on late night TVs whenever he appears. Okay, fuck John Lovett. He also cries because people are like against men and women's sports when it's an 80-20 issue. Like, fuck John Lovett. Okay? Think about this. Okay, let's look at the Pod Save Bros for a minute. How many people at Crooked Media outside Favreau, Vitor, the guy who looks like budget Ben Affleck, Pfeiffer, do you think like straight white men work at Crooked Media? Because I'm pretty sure they don't. I'm pretty sure it is the definition of that cringe Ben Winkler tweet where it's just, pronouns and bios, pronouns and email signatures. I'm a BIPOC, because I remember reading the article that their entire staff was way too pro-Palestine and were upset that the hosts weren't pro-Palestine. Spoiler alert, I don't give a shit about Palestine. I don't care what happens in random countries. I only care what happens to me and people I value. And that is the average view of most people. I understand the Gen Z thing is to pretend to give a shit about every atrocity all over the world because it's cool for progressive culture war points to show, look how much I care about random tragedy in random third world country you can't locate on the map. By the way, the Trump tariff thing chart, I didn't know there was a country called Chad or a McDonald's Island or any of this bullshit. But I bet you now there's going to be some fucking annoying, green, blue hair fucking vegan bitch with Spectrum, or God forbid, that still wears a mask. That's like, I care about the atrocities happening in Chad. We should do a land acknowledgement because the natives lost their land to English settlers or whatever bullshit, basically. Any annoying fuck you would see at NYU or Columbia. Look, I fucking hate Tampon Tim on the Gavin Newsom podcast. He has so many fundamental problems. Bring back 2015 not full misogyny, just a tad bit of misogyny, okay? Let people be Ryan Gosling in Crazy Stupid Love again, okay? Just do it, okay? Who gives a shit? Or else you're just gonna make things worse, and then you know what? You're gonna wish for the days people were Barney Stinson or Dan Egan or Ryan Atwood or God, what the fuck is fucking Ryan Gosling's character's name in Crazy Stupid Love? It is Jacob, okay? Or like Hitch, okay? Hitch was cool too. Think about that. The fact that if we try to make a Hitch movie in fucking 2025, people would be like, that's misogynistic. Or if it does get made, why does he only like skinny women? That is beautiful. First of all, no, that is not beautiful. Ozempic exists now. Fuck the body positivity bullshit, okay? Listen, you want to be 300 pounds and look like a disgusting pig? Fine. That's on you. But we have a solution to this bullshit now, okay? You can stop spending the $1,000 on fucking Costco meals. Actually, not even, because if you have health insurance and you're broke, Medicaid should cover Ozempic or whatever because you would qualify for obesity Ozempic, not diabetes Ozempic, then again, whatever. That is my whole thing on this. I don't care. To wrap it up, I just want to go through my top 10. You know what? No, I am done. Okay? I'm done. This has been another episode.